Well, for a closer look at today's wages figures, I spoke a short time ago to the head of the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Andrew McKellar.
There's no cause for concern here, an increase of 3.6%. If you take account of average productivity growth, then this should be consistent with getting inflation back down towards the Reserve Bank's target range of 2 to 3%. So it doesn't add to inflationary pressure. If we can keep wages growth at this level, then I think it will be positive. Of course, there are some risks on the horizon, but I think taking this figure by itself, it is not a bad result.
Well, does this give the government more of an argument for their IR reforms because they want to lift wages even higher?
Well, it certainly doesn't support anything that the government is proposing in its IR changes. Our concern is that they're reducing flexibility. They're taking away, the ability for businesses to manage different work arrangements in a flexible way that encourages productivity. So I think there's no direct link between what we're seeing in this wages growth number and the agenda that the government is trying to advance on industrial relations changes. We know those changes will send the economy backwards. They won't be good for employment and they won't generate real wage increases in the future.
We've got better than full employment, it seems to me, and still we don't have big wages growth. Why is that in your view?
Well, look, clearly, there's taken time to work through the system. Of course, we know there are labour and skills shortages out there. Look, it's hard to explain exactly why that is occurring because employers are very much actively seeking to fill vacancies. So if we're seeing these sorts of results now, if they're able to be maintained, then I think it's a positive thing and should take the pressure off interest rates in the future.
And what's your view of the proposal from the PM to have a public holiday if the Matildas win next week?
Well, look, we certainly hope the Matildas will win. I think the whole country is barracking for them. Whether it should be a public holiday or not, look, the concern that we have obviously is the impact that it has on business, on small business. There are real costs out there for those types of businesses. If they have to pay penalty rates, if they lose customers as a result. So I think politicians need to bear that in mind. If they're prepared to pay for those costs, then that's one thing. There are alternatives. We could have a parade in the CBD in Sydney or in Brisbane or elsewhere, bring people into the city, celebrate by all means. But I think let's weigh up the costs and work out whether it is something that we are happy to impose on those who are really struggling at the moment.
Chief Executive, Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Andrew McKellar, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Andrew.